everyone, and welcome back to Paws and Claws Zoo. In this episode, we are going to be taking on one of my most ambitious and detailed projects in the zoo so far. In one of my previous zoos, I have actually created a dome similar to this, but for this episode and for this zoo, I thought creating a walkthrough monkey dome enclosure would be quite significant for the zoo's profits. This habitat is designed to be more than just a place for the monkeys. It's a full-on immersive experience where guests can step directly into their world, surrounded by natural design, stunning architecture, non-stop animal activity. The enclosure itself is actually, a walk-through enclosure. So we'll have the doors at the front and the rear of the dome for the guests to walk through. The centerpiece is actually two massive domes connected by a glass tunnel. We'll create the second one in just a minute, but we're working on the first one and the design of the first one at the minute. Each dome is enclosed with a strong stone walls accented with natural wooden textures, which is pretty much what you're seeing right now. If there is some jumps here and there, it's because there's that many pieces in this dome and in both domes that it's actually slowing my PC down. So I do apologize if there are some bit of drastic gaps here and there. I just had to sort of just bite the bullet and just go slow with it, because with the recording and while building them, it got quite slow. So I do apologize. But each dome, like I said, has the nice strong stone walls accented with the wooden beams, and also the overhanging arched roof supported by the thick wooden beams. It makes it feel rustic and modern while also blending seamlessly with the zoo's theme, because I wanted to obviously carry that wooden stone texture theme not just throughout the entire park but for the builds as well. So obviously we'll have the same wooden beams, the same stone walls. Above it all is the spiral glass dome, not only making for obviously an eye-catching architectural design, but it also just brings in a lot of natural light. So obviously this creates like a warm and inviting atmosphere for the guests as they walk through, because even though it is sandbox mode, I still want the guests' experience to be quite immersive and good in the zoo. So obviously having all that natural light and the shadows and all the foliage when we get to it will obviously bring in the guests, feelings and emotions into this area. Also, the second dome will also be connected through like a glass tunnel, so you'll be able to pretty much walk from one tunnel to the other with the monkeys pretty much moving overhead and around them, pretty much making it like a blurred line between habitat and the pathway, which is very cool. Inside the domes, obviously we'll be doing decorating with not just like the climbing structures and rope bridges and all that, enrichment items and all that, but we'll also obviously be doing trees and dense foliage, pretty much just make the monkeys, at home to be able to swing and explore in whatever direction they want or whatever. The design I sort of go with as well gives them both vertical and horizontal movement, because obviously it's a walk-through dome, so you got to make sure that not just that the guests are happy, but also the monkeys are happy. So I did actually do, I think, 2 or 3 different breeds of monkey. I can't exactly remember what breeds they are, but we'll probably get to that later on. But yeah, I wanted them to be able to move freely and be able to be visible from pretty much anywhere you walk through. Meanwhile, the guests, there'll be an invisible path that goes through the dome, surrounded obviously by hand railing and all that sort of stuff, to make it realistic, as well as the greenery and everything around them, making them the guests feel part of their environment, and I guess part of the monkeys pack, if you will. So obviously, we had to incorporate safety as well, which is what you can see me doing now, a sort of, I guess, safety barrier. I wanted it to obviously look as realistic as possible, and because obviously monkeys can climb, I had to make it, I guess, climb proof, if you will. So we've got a big steel, I guess, cage going straight up, and then a bit of an overhang over the top so they can't actually climb climb over it. You can click on different sections of the heat map to make it for the enclosure, to make you able to see where the escaping or climbable areas are. That's what you see me doing now, going through, because apparently every single wooden beam is climbable, especially for when you're doing a monkey habitat that's a walkthrough habitat. You don't really want them to be able to climb every single structure. So I had to go through every single beam, and I couldn't just highlight the entire building because they're all separate sections of the building to be able to make the dome work. If you are not entirely sure on how to do a dome as well, you pretty much just do your wall and roof as you would as just a separate building. Click out of it. I might even do a tutorial. Click out of it, highlight it, and then just copy and paste that, rotate it 90 degrees so it's facing the other way, and then you can highlight both pieces and just rotate them. So that's pretty much how you do it. You'll see me do a bit more of it in the next dome if there's not as many cuts, because yeah, after I sort of do the first dome, that's when the sort of cuts come in. So obviously with so many intricate details and an incredible number of individual pieces used to create the dome, the game did struggle a bit during the building. Obviously the end result will be very good, and when you're not building and just walking around naturally, there's no frame rate drops or anything like that. So that's what you want when obviously walking through, but building it was a little bit of a struggle because it did jump, but obviously truly unique enclosure that pushes the limits of not just, creativity, but also my computer. That it makes it worth it. So yeah, you can see me, I put down the invisible path, which is pretty much just, an invisible path, if you will. Obviously had to make sure that it was going smoothly. So yeah, we added in a couple ponds as well, just around the pathing system, and then obviously had to go through with the terrain brush and color and match the enclosure needs of the paint and the terrain to the monkeys itself, because apparently even though they're part of the same family and habitat, they somewhat require different needs for the enclosure and the paint and all of that. But luckily the enrichment items were pretty similar, so a lot of them were pretty similar with what was needed for each specific animal. The build also combines the realistic zoo design with creative architecture, resulting in an exhibit that feels believable, functional, but also like visually stunning. Like I said before, I have previously built a monkey dome, but this monkey dome is set to be the real highlight of this zoo, specifically giving visitors an unforgettable close-up experience while still providing, the naturalistic and enriching habitat for the animals, and also being right at the front of the zoo somewhat, if you will. The guests will obviously be able to see that when you walk in, and also from the car park entrance as well. So they'll see that, get quite enticed about what that is as well, and obviously wanting to visit it. It's a shame going from Planet Coaster 2 now to this, I'm not able to, upscale each piece like you would in that game. So finding this little, staff entrance door area was a bit annoying because the gaps weren't filling and I couldn't obviously rotate and build pieces to fit. I had to sort of find pieces itself, but we got there in the end. And then now we sort of work on the interior a little bit more. Like all of these are climbable pieces, and the monkeys use them as well. So I wanted to obviously make sure that they were all properly connected, and I wanted to make sure that it went over the path as well. So when you're walking through there, you sort of felt like, even though it's a path, obviously being invisible, it's sort of in their land as well. So yeah, I wanted to cover the path as well as I could, so when you do walk in there, you can in fact see them jump across or interact with the path, interact with the guest itself. So yeah, obviously adding all those pieces in and adding the specific terrain and all the natural aspects of the enrichment as well pieces itself, yeah, are all individual. So there's a lot of pieces going in, and also a lot of stuff that I'm working on. So it might not look a little bit too slow right now, but believe me, I think by this time it was starting to slow it down a little bit, but we got there in the end. Like I said, it's all worth it because it doesn't stop running smoothly when you're walking through it or in real time. It was just when building, which is a little bit weird, but I suppose, yeah, with the amount of pieces and detailing that I did put in, I don't find it that surprising. So yeah, the other dome itself we haven't actually built, but or we haven't actually decorated yet. We'll do a, yeah, here I am trying to copy and paste, but you can't, which is quite frustrating. So yeah, I had to go with plan B. Yeah, the second dome itself isn't actually detailed yet because I don't really know what to do. We'll do like a little bit of a POV at the end and walk through it, and it'll give you a bit more of an idea of what's to come, I guess. But like I said, because it does slow down a little bit, I probably won't record building inside that dome, or I might, I'm not too sure. We'll see how we go. But yeah, the inside of this second dome will sort of just be maybe just a basic garden, botanical garden situation, maybe a little lake, or I guess river, pond, if you will, with some seating area, just a nice relaxing area. Once you've finished walking through this zone, you can, yeah, relax in there, or even if you don't want to go in there, you can just sit there and wait for your friends and family to return, I guess. So yeah, we'll do not too special in this dome, considering it took me a hot minute just to build the dome. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm very happy with how the entire enclosure turned out. It does look very good, and I am happy with the amount of detailing. The monkeys obviously love it, and that's what really matters. Well, only matters really is their enrichment and their happy factor as well. So you can see me here, probably not doing the most realistic way to do this, but I sort of just copied and pasted each blueprint in and just lined it up and rotated it one click each time to make sort of like a half dome. Then I was like, that's not really working. We'll scrap all of that and we'll just build the dome again from scratch. And here I am. This is the right way to do it. You just rotate each pieces. Obviously it'll go faster because it's slowing down. But yeah, the domes are connected between the walkthrough, I guess, little area, so you can still walk through and see the outside area going through each dome, which is still very cool and exciting, and that's what I like. And then yeah, you'll be able to come out to this open area here and I guess look out over the tortoises as well. But with it slowing down so much, we will cut to real time and there'll be a bit of an update as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in real time. So let's do that. Alright, so this is a little bit of a tour going on for the domes itself. I've only completed the one dome, as I'm having trouble with my PC. Hey, it's just not liking all these finicky little pieces. There's a couple hundred pieces in this dome alone, so it runs a little bit slow and sometimes freezes when I'm building. So like you can look at the roof. That's probably why. So yeah, it freezes every now and then. So that's probably why there was a few cuts. Like all these pieces, individual pieces. So yeah, I've just completed the one dome. Let's just quickly go through here. And then we haven't finished this side. Obviously this side's all glassed off and secure because the animals are on that side. And then this side, I might just put another lake there and just have it open a little bit. And then this side, I don't think it's going to be an enclosure on this side. I can't get rid of those doors though because it won't work with the pathing system. But this is obviously an invisible path apart from the bridge. But obviously, yeah, this is going to be all nicely done. Yeah, so I think this might sort of be maybe like a bit of a botanical garden situation. Like, look at all those pieces. Ridiculous. Yeah, so I probably won't do that in an episode just because, yeah, it freezes here and there, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, I was thinking like doing a botanical garden situation, just a nice relaxing, a bunch of benches as well. You can just sit there, listen to it. I'll put some speakers in there with some like some natural looking sound and stuff, but I'll also add some benches and stuff here so you can sit here, obviously look at the tortoises as well, and also the monkeys if they're around. There's one just standing there. But yeah, this is the domes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build. If you do have any questions about the dome itself or like how I built them, please let me know down below and I'll get back to you, or I might even like put them on the workshop or something like that, because they are very cool. I do like the spiral, like look at that, that's so sick. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Yeah.